Hey guys, welcome to Medifaction. So let's learn about the physiology of spleen today. So the spleen is an organ found in virtually all vertebrates, similar in structure to a large lymph node, and it acts primarily as a blood filter. So to learn more about it, let's go deeper. In this video, I'm going to enumerate an introduction about the spleen. We're also going to discuss about the structure of the spleen and what is a red pulp and white pulp of a spleen. And we are going to discuss the function of the spleen, that is formation of blood cells, destruction of blood cells, blood reservoir function, and also role of spleen in defense of body. And finally, we are going to discuss about some applied physiology of spleen, which are splenomegaly and hypersplenism, also hyposplenism and asplenia. Let's begin. Introduction. The spleen plays multiple supporting roles in the body. It acts as a filter for blood as part of immune system. Old red blood cells are recycled in the spleen, and platelets and also white blood cells are stored there. The spleen also helps fight certain kinds of bacteria that cause pneumonia and meningitis. Structure of spleen. Spleen is the largest lymphoid organ in the body, and it is highly vascular. It is situated in left hypochondrial region, that is, upper left part of the abdomen, behind the stomach and just above the diaphragm. About 10% of people have one or more accessory spleens, which are situated near the main spleen. Spleen is covered by an outer serous coat and an inner fibromuscular capsule. From the capsule, the trabeculae and trabecular network arise. Here we can see the trabeculae which arises from the capsule. All the three structures, which is capsule, trabeculae and trabecular network, contain collagen fibers, elastic fibers, smooth muscle fibers and reticular cells. The parenchyma of spleen is divided into red and white pulp. Let's see more about it. Red pulp. Red pulp consists of venous sinus and coats of structures like blood cells, macrophages and mesenchymal cells. Here you can appreciate the red pulp. Moving on to white pulp. The structure of white pulp is similar to that of lymphoid tissue. It has a central artery which is surrounded by splenic corpuscles or Malpighian corpuscles. These corpuscles are formed by lymphatic sheath containing lymphocytes and macrophages. This right here is the white pulp of the spleen. And as I told earlier, this is the capsule, this is the trabeculae, and this forms trabecular network. Now let's move on to the functions of spleen. First function, formation of blood cells. Spleen plays an important role in the hemopoietic function in embryo. During the hepatic stage, spleen produces blood cells along with liver. In myeloid stage, it produces the blood cells along with liver and bone marrow. Second function, destruction of blood cells. Older RBCs, lymphocytes and thrombocytes are destroyed in the spleen. When the RBCs become old, that is 120 days of its lifespan, the cell membrane becomes more fragile. Diameter of most of the capillaries is less or equal to that of RBC. The fragile old cells are destroyed while trying to squeeze through the capillaries because these cells cannot withstand the stress of squeezing. Destruction occurs mostly in the capillaries of spleen because the splenic capillaries have a thin lumen. So the spleen is known as graveyard of RBCs. Third function, blood reservoir function. In animals, spleen stores large amount of blood. However, this function is not significant in humans. But a large number of RBCs are stored in spleen. The RBCs are released from spleen into circulation during the emergency conditions like hypoxia and hemorrhage. Fourth function, role in defense of body. Spleen filters the blood by removing the microorganisms. The macrophages in splenic pulp destroys the microorganisms and other foreign bodies by phagocytosis. Spleen contains about 25% of T lymphocytes and 15% of B lymphocytes and forms the site of antibody production. Now let's move on to some applied physiology. Splenomegaly and hypersplenism. Splenomegaly refers to enlargement of spleen. Increase in the activities of spleen is called hypersplenism. Some diseases cause splenomegaly resulting in hypersplenism. Which are those diseases? Number 1. Infectious diseases such as malaria, typhoid, and tuberculosis. Number 2. Inflammatory diseases like rheumatoid arthritis. Number 3. Pernicious anemia. Number 4. Liver diseases. Number 5. Hematological disorders like spherocytosis. Number 6. Cysts in spleen. Number 7. Hodgkin's disease. Number 8. Glandular fever. Effects of splenomegaly. Number 1. Hemolysis resulting in anemia. Number 2. Leukopenia. Number 3. Thrombocytopenia. Number 5. Increase in plasma volume. Next, hyposplenism and asplenia. Hyposplenism or hyposplenia refers to diminished functioning of spleen. It occurs after partial removal of spleen due to trauma or cyst. Asplenia means absence of spleen. Functional asplenia means normal functions of spleen. It occurs in the following conditions. Number 1. Congenital absence of spleen function or congenital asplenia. Number 2. Acquired through surgical removal of spleen, otherwise splenectomy. Number 3. Acquired through some diseases which destroy spleen to such an extent that it becomes non-functional. This process is called autosplenectomy. The diseases which cause autosplenectomy are sickle cell anemia and spherocytosis. Hope you have understood the video. Like, subscribe and press the bell button for more videos. Thank you. Thanks for watching.